This is the Rational Discourse Podcast, analyzing the human experience and answering the questions that affect us most. Today, we're going to be talking about comic books. And now for your host, Sean.
Oh, thank you, Daniel, for that rousing introduction.
You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You know, had a little clappy. I was going to also add this Chris Hansen introduction as well.
You mean the guy who does the pedophile show?
Yeah. Here, I'll play it for you.
The 22-year-old
virgin so you can't hear it
is
right
in
now,
the house.
but you'll hear it when it comes back on.
Okay, that's great.
I think you're going to find it. Right
anyway, we're doing comic books this week. We have the big movie coming out in a week, Man of Steel. Superman. I've always been a huge Superman fan. Always been my favorite.
No underwear this time.
Yeah, a lot of people are complaining about the new uniform.
I love not having underwear?
I love it.
It's a modernization.
I love it. Everybody was complaining about Batman when he came out that the uniform he lost the gray and the black underwear. And personally, I always thought their old timey suits with the underwear outside they made them look like professional wrestlers.
Yeah, well, that's why they did that. You know, when they had like the strong men who would come out in the circuses and they were just wearing the underwear. And stuff.
We live in it's 2013. We
now,
need to get the puck over that a little bit. So the new and another thing, I personally had a huge problem with them casting Henry Cavill as Superman, simply because Superman is supposed to be the all-American. No, I'm going to go
all-American.
The all-American. That was my first thought, but Steve made a really good point. Steve, my best friend, also Daniel's cousin, but he made a really good point. My favorite TV character of all time is an American played by a British actor. Hugh Laurie playing House. So I was like, you know what? Perfect, you win. Not to mention Henry Cavill, he was in Count of Monte Cristo, he's in a couple other movies. I thought he did a pretty good job, and he definitely looks the part. So, if he can do the part right, more power to him.
Holy shit. So I'm looking on Wikipedia, they got a picture of Superman depicted as stricken by AIDS in an awareness campaign.
They will use his image for everything apparently.
They also got one with Barack Obama dressed as Superman, but it's more like Dean Cain's Superman suit. It looks like a very Dean, with the low neck, where it's almost like a V cut. Not really a V cut, but it's definitely below the collarbone. It's a little gay.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Dean Cain, but that suit was a little gay.
I gotta admit, though, I was actually a huge fan of Lois and Clark.
I thought it was a good show.
Terry Hatcher,
The one episode from that I remember is the one with Miss Mxyzptlk.
Mxyzptlk,
where they're sitting on the. No, I don't think it was Mxyzptlk. I think maybe it was. It was a smaller character, but I thought that he was this, also dressed as Superman, and he was like looking through a building, and he was watching girls shower.
That was the one where there was. No, I don't think that was him. That was just a character that had somehow got his abilities,
stole Superman's powers.
Yeah, and so he went around saying that he was him. That I do remember that one. But as far as the new movie is concerned, it's got a lot of good cast members in it. Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner, Michael Shannon. I think is going to play a really awesome General Zod. I think he's going to do really well at that.
I'm a huge Kevin Costner fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
I actually am not. I love his movies, but I don't like him. I don't know. He's just very dry, but it works for him.
He's just very awesome.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that point. Was a huge fan of Smallville, the series. I have all 10 seasons. I loved it was a little drama. It's a lot of teenage angst drama.
It was a CBS show.
Yeah,
it was CBS.
No, it was CW.
Oh,
it was UPN.
CW.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, so. I'll admit it was
CW puts on,
but the casting was really good. I really like the casting. Michael Rosenbaum played a good
Superman.
No, he played Lex Luthor.
Who played Superman?
I'm drawing a blank on his name all of a sudden.
Whatever. Anyways, so we had this guy I used to go to school with, who looked like the main character that played Superman. He looked like him, so we called him Smallville.
Oh, okay.
He was from Texas.
Tom Welling.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. But anyway, as far as the comic book characters are concerned, is there a particular one that you fancy over another, or?
My favorite's always been Spider-Man, just because the whole it was always like nerds fighting other nerds.
Yeah,
Like they were all,
like scientists who got
Yeah.
or news reporters.
except for like Sandman. Sandman was just like a criminal.
Well, yeah, he was a criminal.
Was he like that in the comic books though?
I have no idea. Like that's the biggest problem with me in comics. Like I never really read comics, so most of my exposure was through other media sources, movies, TV show.
Same here. That's right, folks. On Rational Discourse Podcast, we'll be spewing ignorance at you faster than you can disprove us.
Well-
also, we'd like to note that if you would like to disprove us, please send us an email to... What's our email address?
I didn't know what you were asking for. It's Rational Discourse. It's you can either send it to sbooth at Rational Discourse Podcast, or you can also do it rationaldiscoursepodcast@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Or you can tweet us at RAT Discourse
Pod.
P-O-D.
It was a letter restriction.
Letter restrictions. Goddamn restrictions. But that's what makes Twitter so good. We talked about that in our first episode already, though. Let's go back to the comic books. Spider-Man's a badass motherfucker. Now, a lot of people had a problem with the third Spider-Man movie that Tobey Maguire did. I liked it. I thought it was good. You had to understand what the character was going through. However, I did rewatch the movie. I'd say a week ago. It's difficult to get through.
Yeah, it is
He's
a little.
so
He was a
bitchy.
little, yeah.
I mean, I understand it. You know, I got all this shit going on, but
Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, most superheroes kind of come off that whiny when they're, because they're. Oh, I just wish I was normal and this, and that. And I mean, Batman whined about his parents dying and how it changed him. And
my parents died.
no, but
Get
it
over
became like a catalyst. Like he basically allowed his life to be ruined because of it, and it took almost falling completely down before he finally realized what his his mission was going to be. As far as the movies, but back to what I mentioned about comic books. The one thing I can argue with, people say, "Oh, you never read the comics." Yeah, I didn't, but I've also read that most of the comics have changed so many times that even not reading the comics, it doesn't really matter. You're going to get a different story regardless, as long as you know the basic traits. Like Superman's changed so many times, it's impossible to actually know exactly what the original lore is. There's different lore about him. I was reading one that said that he used to be able to project a smaller version of him that could do everything that he could do, and he attacked it because he got jealous of it, and then it ended up dying trying to protect. It was weird, and I'm like, I've never heard of this before, but it was apparently one of the initial, like very early on, and then they took it out very quick. So, the comic books have evolved over time. They just added Superman. Just got with Wonder Woman. He broke up with Lois Lane, and now he's with Wonder Woman all of a sudden. It's like they changed.
That happened in the comic books?
Yeah, they changed it in the comic books, and that was within the last year. So, I mean, as far as the comics are concerned, the way I see it, you can get just as much of the lore, and the character is really much more important than anything that really happens to him in the comics.
Because it's always been Superman, Lois Lane.
Yeah, Superman, Lois Lane, and that's pretty much the same in all of the different variations of Superman, even the movies. Christopher Reeve was pretty cool. I kind of liked him, although he didn't really fit the prototypical.
He was kind of a big dude.
And he was bigger, but he was never
How
buff.
big was Christopher Reeve?
He was I'm pretty sure he was a pretty tall man, but.
Not in his later years, but.
Oh! All right.
Because he was sitting down. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain. He was 6'4".
Yeah, that's not bad.
6'4".
It wasn't really the height that I was talking about. It was more of like I'm 6'6", but I'm not an
It just
imposing
means he
figure.
looked a lot like Bruce Jenner.
If you mean that he looks like a plastic doll, because that's what Bruce Jenner looks like now. Okay.
Now, I'm talking then.
Okay, maybe a little bit. I can see
Back when
that.
Bruce Jenner was a superior athlete.
Yeah.
An elite athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, he was creme de la creme. He won the gold medal, dude. He's a badass.
Yeah.
So, Superman was originally published April 18th, 1938.
Yeah, it goes to show you how long they've been around. And then we have the different, DC universe, obviously, and then we have the Marvel universe. Marvel, Spider-Man, obviously, being Marvel. And
I wonder how much drugs these dudes did to think about all these different characters. Because they're like
I don't really think they would have to do much.
30-year-old men. They're like, oh man.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to remember it was a different time.
That guy.
They didn't have all of the distractions that we have nowadays. I mean, their imagination was their entertainment for the most part.
Point.
And they lived during a time where, especially back in the 30s, everything was going to shit, and so a lot of wars. They were looking for people, superior men that were brave. Looking for qualities like bravery and to have this person who could come and was basically infallible and could do whatever he wanted, essentially a god.
I really hope that there's a follow-up to the Man of Steel movie with Darkseid. I feel like
Darkseid is a great character. He was in Smallville one of the seasons. I thought he had
really?
Yeah, he was in season 9 or 10.
No,
I've always been a fan. I've always thought General Zod was his best opponent. Lex Luthor is the most memorable, but Lex Luthor doesn't really have. A human can't go up against a god. Yeah, I think that's why they introduced, because originally they didn't have Kryptonite. Kryptonite was introduced later.
Really?
And I think they did that kind of to even the score, because you can't kill him, so you gotta have some sort of way to kill him. But I think they kind of overdo it when they do the Kryptonite. It seems it's too convenient. Oh, he's about to save the day. Someone happens to have a piece of kryptonite.
Well, in the Brandon Routh movie, he stabbed him with kryptonite, and then he overpowered.
Well, if you ask any person, 90% of the people will say that it was one of the most horrible movies ever.
It's just the stupid
regardless of how great Kevin Spacey
put it
is.
Inside of him, he stabbed him. That's it.
Yeah,
it's done. But he overpowered it. How?
Well, no. What's funny is that whole island was made of kryptonite, and he picks it up, and I'm like, how is that even possible? But that movie was pretty. I liked it simply because I like the Superman lore, so it was interesting to see some of the different aspects of it. And I thought Brandon Routh played a pretty good character. I love Kevin Spacey, so it was interesting to see him as a bad guy.
But I also want to see Doomsday. Oh, it'd be awesome to have
Yeah, Doomsday is a good character. Doomsday almost seems a little bit unfair in the opposite direction. He can't be killed. First off, he no matter how you kill him, and comes back stronger. He was also in the Smallville episodes.
Was he really?
Yeah, they had pretty much every. Mxyzptlk was in it. They had, Lex Luthor. They pretty much had every enemy for him. They even had a lot of his sidekicks. They had the Justice League. Yeah, Zod was in it.
Well.
They had Aquaman, Cyborg, Green Arrow,
Brainiac
was a big enemy for him for a while. It's very good.
Toy Master.
Yep, Toy Master.
No shit.
Yep.
I thought I was getting obscure with that one. I was going to chip you.
No, it's a great. Like I said, the series. Some of the acting was a little, especially early on. It's a little whiny, and Smallville Clark Kent is a very whiny bitch in Smallville. I'm just listen, seriously, dude. I understand. My childhood sucked too. I was never that much of a whiny bitch. Come on now. You can pick up your house. I could get over that. If nobody liked me, but I could pick my house up, I think I could get over that. But it's just the whole. The story is. It's the whole triumph of good over evil, and I think that's really where people get that sense of, they're looking at comic books and they get that sense of pride, especially, Superman was the American hero for the most part. You had Captain America was also around too, but Superman was DC's version of the ultimate American hero, and so a lot of people was that was the symbol for justice and peace. And
do you think Do you think they really will go into a Justice League?
From what I'm hearing, they're going to have to wait and see how this is going to do. I think this movie is going to be huge as far as how much it sells. Whether or not it gets a good reaction is going to depend on obviously how they did it. But from what I understand, Zack Snyder, who did this movie, is a really good. He did what's the superhero? He did
Watchmen.
that one. Watchmen, yeah. He did a really good job with that. And I mean, from the previews, I've been so excited for the last couple months, just waiting for this to happen. I still can't wait for this next Friday to come because it's going to be awesome. But like I was saying, they did have the Justice League, the different characters. So what they're going to have to try to do is try to make the new movies with the individual characters, and then they'll probably try to do an Avengers-like movie as well.
I hope if they do a Justice League movie, I really hope they explore the dynamic character of Crypto.
You mean the dog?
Yeah, the super dog. I really hope they...
He was actually in that, too.
In there. Who was he in there?
Yeah, he was kryptonite infused, and like they were injecting him with liquid kryptonite to make him extra strong. He turned back into a regular dog once he was it was out of the system, but they named him Shelby. They ended up naming him Shelby in the show, so it wasn't technically that dog. But
all right, in the show was there I'm gonna go through. Was there Supergirl?
Yep.
No joke. Who played Supergirl?
Laura Vandervoort. She's sexy. That's all. I can't remember exactly what how to say her name, but
Supergirl. Laura Vandervoort.
Yeah.
Images.
It says here they were. This is one thing in the new movie that I didn't really like. They have Amy Adams playing Lois Lane. I'm not very convinced that she's going to do that great of a role. I mean, she's a good actress, but I just don't know if she fits the prototype.
She'll fit it. I think she'll do it.
You think so? Yeah. Well, it's definitely better. They have some other ones, actresses that included Olivia Wilde, maybe, although she's a little scrawny for it. Lois was always a little bit more brawny, not in a negative way, but she was always a little bit more... I always kind of imagined that character being a little bit stronger type character. Mila Kunis, a little bit too small. And then Kristen Stewart. If they would have cast Kristen Stewart as Lois Lane...
It would have been a blockbuster. It would have knocked it out of the park.
I wouldn't have watched
the best thing ever.
I'd have been done.
Yeah. I think Kristen Stewart's like one of the best actresses that we have today in the modern world. I mean... once
you need to work on your sarcasm. It's coming off as ignorance. But I mean, they have a great cast. I think it's going to be Michael Shannon. I've always been a huge fan of him. I think he's going to play a very good Zod.
What about
Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White? They're kind of going against the grain, obviously, because Perry White's supposed to be a white man. But if they want to throw him and put him as African, it doesn't matter. Like his character isn't. It's not going to make a huge difference having one or the other. Plus, this was during the 30s and 40s when they created the character, so they were all racist back then anyway. So, but Russell Crowe as Jor-El, and apparently they're actually going to explore some of the Jor-El is actually going to be doing stuff in the movie. He's supposedly fighting Zod because he's trying to send Kal-El to Earth. And while the planet is being destroyed, so he has to.
What destroys the planet?
It's different. Apparently, there's different stories for it
because they're supposed to be like the super advanced race, aren't they?
Yeah. Like in the series, it was, I believe, there was a huge war. And it ended up being like nuclear weapons that destroyed the planet.
No shit. Okay.
But I've also heard there was apparently there was a black hole.
That makes sense. Oh, black hole.
Yeah. But definitely a little different.
All right, hold on. Wait. I'm gonna play this.
What is this?
Most girls can't handle it. He tells the girl that he has a very large penis. Did you bring condoms?
It's more Chris Hansen. Sound clips.
So basically, you're putting stuff in there that has absolutely nothing to do with...
Most girls can't handle it. He tells the girl he has a very large penis.
It's all about To Catch a Predator stuff.
I'm big.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. So now, also after Superman, we got Wolverine. Is it the Wolverine this time? Or?
Yeah, I don't remember which one this one is. This is
What's it called?
It looks a little weird. I don't know how this is going to end up.
Now, with the Wolverine, at the end of this movie, I'm really hoping Nick Fury will show up and be like, I'm here to recruit you.
I don't know if they can they? Can
Why
they do
not?
the X-Men with mixing them in with...
Fuck Sony. Also, I was thinking about something else. What if we got a lot of people to boycott the PlayStation 4 until Sony releases the rights to Spider-Man and Wolverine so that they can be in the Avengers?
The problem with that is Microsoft is going to screw any chance of that by making the Xbox One so horrible that nobody's going to want to buy that one.
The Xbox One is going to be the pinnacle of gaming consoles.
Except for the fact that it's got to be connected at all times, or connect to the internet. It's got to. You have to
so
store the games on the hard drive.
okay.
You can't use used games.
Minor details. Minor
The
details.
Kinect comes with it. Blah blah blah. This
Minor
and that.
details.
I mean, I don't care because I don't really buy consoles. I'm more of a computer person. Not necessarily that I wouldn't. It's just more expensive. But
I think they're fun. The
I
thing
agree.
is, though,
But Steve buys them, so I don't have to buy them half the time. I can just play
I
them with
really
it.
want to get the PS4, but what I'm gonna probably end up doing is get a Xbox-like PS4 controller because I love the setup, the offsetted joysticks.
Uh-huh.
I can't do games with joysticks when they're both side by side. I don't know why. It doesn't feel natural. It feels better when it's offset. And it's just I don't know. Maybe it's from like playing so much Halo and just getting so used to it.
Yeah, I don't really see a difference, but I pretty much conform to whatever as far as that's concerned.
And then next year, jumping way ahead with X-Men, they're doing the the time series. So they're gonna have
Oh yeah, they're doing
the old X-Men and the new X-Men, and it's gonna be
because
crossover of time.
the sequel to the one they did First Class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently there's gonna be time travel. It's gonna have Cable.
Jennifer Lawrence is coming back.
Yes.
Yes.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Now Cable, he's always been my favorite X-Men.
Why?
There was I'm trying to remember the game. There was one of the games where you get to pick 3 of them, and you're fighting kind of like Mortal Kombat style, but you have 3 characters you choose from. Cable was just always my favorite one, as far as I was concerned, and I just like the idea of the character. I'm pretty sure it's Cyclops' son. It's Summers. I'm trying to remember his name. Yeah, it's Scott
Nathan
Summers.
Summers.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
so I
yeah.
think it's his son, or maybe it might even be his grandson.
I thought Cable was black.
He might have been in the originals, but
Is that a different Cable?
possibly. I don't think so, though.
Now, how are they going to put Cable in it when Cyclops died at the beginning of the third movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
He got killed.
Maybe he already was born. Yeah, son of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor,
Madeline Pryor.
and was born in the present, but was sent into a distant future where he was raised.
Huh. So, anyways, I hope that with this, they'll go into like the Age of Apocalypse with the evil X-Men,
I just kind of hope
which
they
would be awesome.
they bring in the Sentinels.
The Sentinels?
They better have them in the next movie because they've never really
In the cartoon.
Yeah. The doctor, oh man. See, this is the thing. I wish I knew all the different names. The doctor that created the Sentinels was apparently in one of the, or he was supposed to be in the new one.
What about that little blob in the floaty thing?
The little blob in the floaty thing.
Yeah,
You're going to have to be a little bit more specific than that.
exactly. You know about that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Here at Rational Discourse Podcast, we do thousands of hours of research to make sure that we know every single angle of the topics that we're going to cover today.
Not even close. Oh, he apparently was a partner with Deadpool. That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. So I was thinking about abbreviating Rational Discourse Podcast.
RDP?
RDP, baby. RDP. See.
Yeah, that would work out.
Wait. What was that? What were we looking at? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You were saying something about Apocalypse?
X-Men Villains. A list of X-Men villains. Oh, how convenient.
Apocalypse is first, huh?
Oh God, I really, yeah. Again, the Age of Apocalypse, but I really want them to do Apocalypse. I want Apocalypse to have his own movie. Like a villain movie. Have they ever done a movie with just a villain? Catwoman does not count!
Catwoman was never really just a villain, though. She was kind of an in-between character.
But she was a villain. But I want them to start with Apocalypse. You know how like ancient Egypt and his origins and stuff, and going through time and all that stuff. And
that would be pretty interesting.
Infected with the cybernetics, all that shit.
I mean, it probably won't happen, but it would be kind of cool.
It would be awesome.
Really enjoyed the Avengers last year. Obviously, I think everybody pretty much did.
Oh, yeah, it was really good.
It was so the hit it blew me away. I didn't expect it to be nearly that good.
They were talking about the second Avengers having the bad guy being the Red Witch, and
I thought she was a good character.
No.
I know they were talking about they casted her. There was two new characters they casted.
Scarlet Witch. There it is.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. And her brother, Quicksilver.
Quicksilver, yeah.
Now these are the bad guys for 2, is what what it's looking like. But also, they're X-Men bad guys.
Oh, okay. So they're thinking there might be a crossover.
Yeah, it gives you a crossover there, which brings me back to the Wolverine and having
Nick Fury show
up. How badass would that be?
That would be. I think that would be pretty awesome if they could somehow get that to happen.
Yeah.
What they really need, the one I'm really looking forward to, is them finally getting Hulk right and casting the appropriate character for the role instead of switching every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, they did the Eric Bana one, which wasn't even them, and it was horrible. I mean, it was a decent movie, but it really was. Obviously had nothing to do with these. And then they tried to do the next Hulk, but I thought they overplayed that a little bit. And Edward Norton apparently couldn't keep him signed up for it. So, and to tell you the truth, I think Mark Ruffalo did a better job.
Oh yeah, he does a great job. Too bad we'll never get to see the whole having Wolverine hunt the Hulk. That whole storyline.
Yeah. That would actually be pretty awesome.
It would, and be a great way to introduce Wolverine, and it be another way to have another Hulk movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing about the Hulk was that the military was always hunting him, and now they're, been told to stand down by S.H.I.E.L.D., so, I mean, there's no point in that. Unless another government were to get Wolverine to hunt him, or, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see the Hulk fight Wolverine. And maybe they will. Who knows? Onslaught. Now, how much do you know about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Only from what I've heard recently. They had, what is it? Is it Ant-Man is one of them, correct?
No, try again. Ant-Man is an Avenger.
Oh, gotcha, okay. Oh, so this is separate completely from that?
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. Guardians of the Galaxy.
This movie is going to be starring Chris Pratt as Lord Starr, Dave Bautista.
Yeah, that's the wrestler, Batista.
Yeah.
Yeah, the really big guy.
I am really hoping that they have
Zoe Saldana, nice.
the squirrel. And then if you go to IMDb, it does look like they do have the squirrel guy.
Nice.
I feel like...
Oh, okay, you know what? I saw something on that the other day. The raccoon. You talking the raccoon?
Raccoon.
The raccoon launcher or
Rocket Raccoon?
Rocket Raccoon, yeah, that's it.
Is that it?
I believe so. Yeah, Rocket Raccoon. Yep.
It's going to be badass. Now, I think this is going to be a lot like Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very obscure comic book. It's not like one of the big famous characters or anything like that. I also think we need to start an online petition to get me to play Flash. I want to be Flash. We need to make a movie for me. We should get like a Kickstarter going. Get me as Flash. I'll be in the Justice Leagues of America.
If you can pull it off.
How awesome would that be? I think I'd do a good Flash.
Let's see, Flash. Which Flash would you be?
What do you mean, which Flash would I be?
Well, you could be Jay Garrick, or you could be Barry Allen.
Oh, Barry Allen, easy. Didn't the Flash get his powers in like a lab accident? Isn't that how it happened?
No, well, I have no idea. He was in Smallville, but he was born that way.
Oh, in the Smallville
mythology. So I don't know where it goes from there. His ongoing comic blah. Flash is a mainstay series. Can't reboot.
I want to be the one with the metal helmet with the wings on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's old school, isn't it?
Oh yeah, super old school. He even looks like he was wearing boots.
Yeah.
Golden Age Flash, Jay Garrick, college student who gained his speed through the inhalation of hard water vapors.
Interesting.
Whoa! So you can breathe in hard. How do you find hard water?
Hard water is just it's a way to describe water that is. It's the pH balance is messed up on it, and it's from. I can't remember exactly what the deal with it is.
Hard water includes Ca squared and Mg squared.
Ow, that's calcium and I don't know
magnesium.
Magnesium.
Ca. C.
It's not squared. It's
O3 plus CO2 plus H2O equals. Okay. Yeah.
Calcium
so
carbonate.
We can make this stuff. So we should just make some hard water, inhale it, and then we'll have superpowers.
Yeah. I don't think it works that way.
It does work that way. It just said it right here on Wikipedia.
Yeah, okay.
They can't put anything on the internet that's not true.
Where did you hear that?
On the internet? So, I would like to address an issue with our first podcast. We made a reference to Paul Revere making a phone call, letting them know the British is coming. Wednesday, I was home and I saw a commercial for Geico. Sure enough, it's Paul Revere making a call saying, yeah, the British are coming, and then going back to playing charades. Apparently, that commercial has been on the air for quite a while. I knew nothing of it.
And I didn't really think about it.
Sean did the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I made the reference, but it wasn't meant to be
because of that.
It actually, I seriously was just thinking of stuff in history. What would be different if we had social media? And that popped into my head. Maybe there might have been something in my subconscious that maybe thought about it, but
I was so upset when I saw that commercial.
Yeah, but great minds think alike. Whatever.
Also, an issue with the second podcast. We were talking about underage girls. I don't want the audience to think we're a bunch of pedophiles. What we were simply talking about is how people develop differently mentally.
Well, I thought I made that pretty clear, but
yeah, I thought so too. But I was thinking back on it, and I was like, maybe people would think that we're just trying to justify having sex with young women.
No, not at all.
We don't.
No, my argument is that humans definitely mature at different rates, and I know I know people that were 15, 16 who are more mature than people who are in their 40s. So
yeah, And mainly we were just trying to get to the point that it's kind of fucked up seeing a 90-year-old guy have sex with a 20-year-old lady.
Yeah. Well, my biggest problem is how if you're 20 or 21 and you have sex with a 17-year-old who is 17 and 364 days old, you go to jail. But if she's 1 day older, she's
Yeah.
legal. I thought it was a little.
I feel like there's quite a bit we
Ambiguous.
didn't get to on that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we won't discuss here. We'll go back to comics, but I think we're gonna have to have several podcasts where we go back over subjects.
I mean,
one was like an hour long.
Yeah, it was more than an hour actually on that one. But I mean, we can always readdress it and stuff like women's rights and other topics we'll be talking about later on.
Ooh, maybe I'll be Barry Allen, Silver Age, Flash.
Barry Allen is the one I'm always used to.
Seriously, I can't find out about how he got his powers. Well, okay, the first one, hard water. You know, that's really stupid.
Born to Henry and Nora Allen, Barry Allen is a police scientist with reputation. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
One night he's
it's-
preparing to leave work, and lightning bolt shatters a case full of chemicals and spills all over Allen.
So, I thought that it was very similar to the way Mr. Manhattan was created.
Essentially, although Mr. Manhattan was, on a microscopic scale, on a quantum scale, his entire body was
Yeah.
changed.
Now, the thing with the Flash and how he's supposedly so fast is that he can control each individual molecule in his body, which
Yeah.
is when he does the shaking, the vibrating to reach through walls. He can actually move the molecules out of the way, which is why I deemed him the most powerful superhero in the DC universe. Some may argue Mr. Manhattan. I get you. But you can't say Superman because Flash would destroy Superman on a molecular level. That's my opinion. Flash is a badass. Wait, do you think they'll need to do another Green Lantern, or do you think they'll keep Ryan Reynolds?
That was so horrible. Well, see, I thought Ryan Reynolds could do the job.
Yeah,
the casting for that was solid. It's just the movie was horrible. I mean, for lack of a better word, it wasn't. It was way too cheesy looking. I think that's more or less what it came down to, was just how it looked.
Hey, weren't they working on a gay superhero in the DC universe?
Well, no.
I thought they went with Wonder Woman. How?
What Green Lantern actually? They made a new Green Lantern, and they made him gay.
Made him homosexual.
Yeah.
So wait, can he make dildos out of the green ring? Green
Only
Lantern dildos. Lantern. How do you spell lantern?
You don't know how to spell lantern?
Hey, some of us didn't go to Harvard, okay?
Yeah, neither did I.
Well, whatever. Seriously though, he could make dildos and stuff.
I guess technically he could.
If I were Green Lantern, I would beat the bad guys with dildos.
It would be kind of emasculating to get beaten by a dildo, but
You could make it a really large and powerful dildo, and you could just beat them with it. Or you could make it a dildo that has like a sharp edge, right? You could do anything you want. Green Lantern's pretty cool.
you could in fact
Do you think they'll ever do a Martian Manhunter?
I think that would be kind of cool to add into. I mean, I don't know.
Do you think independently he's a strong enough character to
No.
have his own movie?
Not
I
even a
don't
little
think
bit.
so either.
He would have to be a side character.
Yeah.
He was also in Smallville.
Really?
I'm telling you, they had everybody in Smallville, man.
Oh, and they also had a Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, he was one of the main characters.
Now, Green Arrow's kind of a bitch. Because he doesn't actually have superpowers. He's just like...
Well, I mean, he's
Hawkeye.
very reactive. I mean, he's kind of like, he has superhuman abilities.
Yeah.
He's fast. He's very agile. He's not, obviously he's not superpower,
Yeah.
or superpower fast or superpower strong, but he's stronger than your average person, faster than your average person. He's very accurate with his bow. He's a craftsman.
He's like Batman.
Essentially. I mean, he's basically a green Batman that uses a bow.
You don't know how I feel about that.
And he works good as he worked pretty good as Superman's sidekick.
I don't know how he'll work in the whole Justice League of America scene.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
do you think they would even add him since the Avengers did Hawkeye?
I think they would do it because of that.
A direct copy. I mean, it's
why not add him then? I mean,
yeah.
I think they have to at least have the big characters in it, or they're gonna piss off people. Unfortunately, Spider-Man. No, sorry, that's Marvel. No, Batman's no longer attached to anybody anymore, so they're free to do Batman, correct? Mm-hmm. But are they going to have to redo Batman movies? Or?
I don't know. I think they should just keep.
I don't think Christian Bale is going to work out for it, unless they do Nightwing with Jason Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
They should just go into Nightwing.
Yeah,
I really think so.
They could do that,
and they should have the main bad guy be Solomon Grundy.
Who?
Solomon Grundy.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, the zombie dude. He's like a huge zombie thing. Swamp Thing character.
Solomon Grundy, zombie supervillain.
There you go.
Named after the 19th century nursery rhyme.
Yeah, Solomon Grundy.
So that's the only thing I'd ever heard of it from was the nursery rhyme.
Now, if they do Justice League of America, do you think that they will also do the Legion of Doom? They have to, right? Of course, it's not going to be a joke, or I guess I'll have to recast Joker and stuff.
Well, obviously they can't use.
Yeah, obviously. Black Manta. Oh, he's Aquaman's villain. Yeah, they should do an Aquaman movie, and they should have Michael Phelps play Aquaman. Makes sense.
Well, they kind of bitch out Aquaman. He's actually a little bit more powerful than they give him credit for.
Yeah, right. He can talk to fish.
Yeah, but he has incredible strength.
Yeah, in the water. Oh no, there's a disaster in Lake Utah. Or Salt Lake in Utah. Whatever. Then he comes out of the Pacific Ocean. He goes, "Hey, can I get a flight to Utah, or maybe I'll walk? There's a disaster over there. I need to be there soon. Can I borrow your car? I'm Aquaman. You can't drive it. You have a hook for a hand. He'll be all right.
He doesn't have a hook for a hand.
Yeah, he does.
In what?
Man, you need to brush up.
I'm looking at Aquaman right now. I don't see any of them with a hook as a hand.
Captain Cold. Oh, it's so fun. Why not just have the Iceman from Batman? They can use, it's pretty much the same guy, isn't it?
Iceman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that too.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Isn't that a Batman villain?
So? It's DC.
Oh, wow. What about Captain Cold? Why is everyone always forgetting about Captain Cold?
Captain Cold is his father?
Is it really?
No, I'm asking.
Oh, I have no
They
idea.
mentioned his father in it too.
But Captain Cold is the Flash villain.
Oh.
I think Captain Cold is like the main villain for Flash.
Yeah, Flash, okay.
Either him or Gorilla Grodd.
So you apparently know a lot more about the DC than I do.
Well, I just know some of these cool villains.
Yeah. I'm a little interested to find out exactly what character it was that they had.
Oh man, have you seen that one picture of the Iceman? He's frozen Batman. Batman's on his knees, and the Iceman's got a pick and a hammer. He's about to drill it in the back of his neck.
Wow.
It's so badass. One of my favorite Batman photos. It's seriously awesome. Yeah, they should. They really. I want them to do something with Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Nightwing or Riddler or whatever, and I think this time they can go in the Robin or Nightwing, whatever, and then do the Riddler as the bad guy.
Yeah, just get somebody other than Jim Carrey to play it.
Yeah, and just go, keep it in the style of the dark, realist.
Yeah, I did like the dark, that
realism,
style.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's where they're going with Man of Steel as well.
And
personally,
if they
I
keep
prefer it.
all of that, I mean, what would the modern Flash outfit look like? Do you think? Because it'd be kind of hard to have that flare, the lightning bolts on the side.
It would definitely still have to be red. I think it would be more of like the hood style, obviously, than the helmet that the first one had.
Spandex.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's another reason I'm kind of glad they're changing up the outfits, because I just think it was very antiquated the way they were doing it. So I think they kind of had to change it up.
It's just so difficult to make these goofy fucking outfits they all wear modern.
Yeah, I'll agree there.
I mean, like Wolverine, he had that yellow and blue. Bless you. He had the yellow and blue suit with that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, look at this badass with this yellow and blue.
Well, that was the
times, I know, but
that was the X-Men suit.
Yeah, it's just so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of people who would say that's the way it should be, but I personally like the change.
Well, those people are stupid. I don't know. Maybe. Scarecrow was part of the League of Doom.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Doom. Scarecrow's such a bitch character.
One character that I wasn't very familiar with until we started playing that Marvel Alliance.
What?
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
She's apparently got a lot. I mean, she's basically the female equivalent, or Marvel's female equivalent of Superman, but yet can also has like powers to control force and abilities that are a little bit different. Obviously, she can fly. She can powers and abilities.
Now I'm looking
superhuman strength, endurance, stamina, flight, physical durability.
Pictures in the game. Does she have huge boobs?
Oh,
apparently that's part of her MO.
Every female character in the comic book is going to have massive tits.
Huge boobs.
I think that's a prerequisite for characters.
And this is a good thing because it seems like people who read these comic books, they can. I'm like, no, I wonder how many people don't watch porn but rather just masturbate to comic books.
Probably a pretty large number. I've definitely met some weirdos in my time that are
like, you don't see any of like the actual boobs or anything.
Yeah, I personally don't.
So wouldn't you just watch a porno?
Yeah. I personally don't see the benefits of looking at a cartoon character, but that's just my personal opinion. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, do whatever makes you happy, people. We're not hating, we're just commenting. We're just asking the question, we're just putting it out there. Oh shit. Apparently Miss Marvel has a thing for Iron Man. I keep seeing this picture where she's like all up on him.
Yeah, there's one little tie-in that I was kind of confused about. Her name is Carol Danvers, and that was in one of the episodes of Smallville, Supergirl was using that as her civilian name.
Really?
Obviously she was Kara Kent was who she was, what she was calling herself for human name, but she was also, there was one episode where she was saying her name was Carol Danvers. And I was just reading this, and they said there was a tie-in between her and Supergirl. Now I'm trying to find it again.
Maybe Marvel did Miss Marvel because DC did Captain Marvel.
a possibility.
Which is so weird. You think they wouldn't have been able to get the rights to that? You know, you think there would have been a lawsuit issue there.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Marvel's just like Superman, right? Except he's a kid, and he goes, Shazam! And then he turns into this. And why is there all this shit about Captain Marvel and Superman fighting?
No, Captain Marvel's a Marvel character.
No, he's DC. What?
It says here it's Captain Marvel. Marvel Comics. Stan Lee, created by Stan Lee.
See, now I'm confused. You know, he was in the game Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
That's kind of strange.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that.
Dum. That game was badass if it would have been on the PlayStation. Because the D-pad for the Xbox is bullshit for fighting games.
Yeah, I can
Absolute
imagine.
bullshit. So stupid. And fighting games are also bullshit online. Last time I played a fighting game online, it was bullshit. People just crushed me. I mean, just fucking crushed me. They know all the combos.
Yeah, because they sit there and practice them all
You
the
get
time.
uppercut once, and then they disappear on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, I was never very good at those.
It's like bullshit. Oh well.
What other movies are going to be coming out here soon as far as comic books are concerned?
Are you kidding me? Dude, all sorts of stuff, man. It's never gonna stop. I don't know. I actually don't know. List of superhero movies. Because here on RDP, we are super prepared for all of our topics. Ant-Man.
Yeah, I remember hearing about Ant-Man.
The Untitled, the Avengers sequel, and another Fantastic Four movie. Apparently, it's a reboot, which makes sense because Johnny,
Yeah, because he's playing Captain America.
he's playing Captain America now.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. What is?
Although I think they had the perfect Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
Ian Gruffudd, I think is his name.
Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Looking forward to that
Yeah.
very much so. I mean, Captain America is just awesome, and Chris Evans.
Yeah,
It's
they
perfect.
couldn't have
I
picked
mean,
a perfect, a more perfect character for him.
I
mean,
did
they're
not agree
casting-
with it when I first heard about it. I was like, "What the? What is that?"
That first movie was,
Damn, Chris Evans.
I was impressed.
Apparently, Kick-Ass 2 also counts as a Marvel Comics movie.
Oh, Kick-Ass was Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh, I was unaware of that.
Kick-Ass 2 is coming out. I can't wait for that one.
Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch the first one until recently, but it was I really enjoyed it.
Okay,
I wasn't
the X-Men
expecting-
movie is called Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past.
Got Amazing Spider-Man 2. Have
Yes,
you heard about
I
this?
haven't seen Amazing Spider-Man 1 yet.
Have you heard about who's playing who?
No.
Alright, so we got Dane DeHaan playing Harry Osborn.
Okay. I don't know who that is.
He was, God, see, I'm drawing a blank now. Why am I just all of a sudden drawing all these blanks? He was in Chronicle. Lawless and Lincoln. He was, did you ever see Chronicle? Oh god, it was really good. They're also talking about putting Dane DeHaan in the new Star Wars movie, which would be awesome. We got Paul Giamatti, who's going to be playing the Rhino.
Nice.
They're doing the Rhino. I'm so excited about it. Anyway, Jamie Foxx, who's going to be playing Electro.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, and Chris Cooper is going to be Norman Osborn. I'm really glad that they're exploring more villains and not doing the same villains over and over again. When you reboot a series,
But Norman Osborn, he was in the first one.
okay, True. I mean, the Green Goblin's like.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm not arguing that, but
when you reboot a series, I feel like you need to do different bad guys, especially when you have so many.
yeah, but I mean, you also have to do Venom, because Venom is the
Yeah, but if they do Venom, they better do Carnage this time.
yeah.
I really want to see Carnage. I feel like that would have to be like a rated R movie. Because Carnage just like straight kills people.
Mm-hmm.
But they could do PG-13 with that.
So I really liked the second Spider-Man when they had Dr. Octopus. That was like my favorite bad guy. Yeah, I always was really into him.
You like Doc Ock? Go back and watching those movies. They're just so fucking corny. It's just
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean that's Tobey Maguire for you.
hard. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out next
Oh
year.
yeah,
Are you excited?
I need to watch the newest reboot. I never watched that one.
It's gonna have Megan Fox.
As O'Neill,
I don't know.
I mean, it would have to. I mean, who else would she play?
Donatello.
She would play Donatello. Interesting.
I don't know. Megan Fox. Yeah. Days of Future Past. Colossus, Storm, Iceman, Shadowcat. Shadowcat, yeah, walks through the walls. No, I got that. I guess they haven't shown who's going to play Cable yet.
So he's definitely going to be in that one.
Yeah. I'm excited about seeing Magneto again. Michael Fassbender is Magneto.
Yeah, he did a really good job. In the
Magneto
first
is probably my favorite villain of all time.
one. Okay.
Probably one of my favorite characters. Just the whole controlling metal thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you would just be so dominant. It's a very restrictive power. You know, you are only controlling metal.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like Jean Grey. You can't control everything with your mind. It's just metal.
Well, the thing is, depending on how powerful it is, there's a lot of metal in the universe.
You can argue that he's controlling the electrons and anything.
Well, no, but I mean, it has to be a certain composition.
Yeah,
I mean, it depends on how technical they get.
I know.
Because sodium is considered a metal.
But we'll just go with the broad metal.
Mercury is a metal.
But it's just it's such an awesome ability, And I mean, you got Mystique who can change into different people, and Iceman. Yeah, but I don't know. I really like the metal. That's what I gravitated towards. Most people will gravitate towards. If I could have a superpower, I would fly. All right. If you could have a superpower, Sean, what would it be?
I mean, I want to say flight, but I'm sure there's something that I'm not thinking about. The re-healing is nice. I've always liked Wolverine for that ability, the ability to re-heal.
Are you saying that you want to be immortal?
Not
or that you want
necessarily.
rapid healing?
Rapid healing would be more than anything.
Do you want the claws too? And all the abilities that come with Wolverine?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think if I had to pick one superhero, I mean, part of me wants to say Superman, but that's just too easy.
Now, if you're Wolverine, you realize you're also going to have to be 5'2". Not
Yeah, he's
6'6".
He's a short bastard, at least in the comics.
Fuck you, Jackman. Wolverine's 5'2".
Yeah, I mean, who are they going to get to play him? It's a little brawny dude. Get Jackie Chan.
No, they could do just like they do the dwarfs for
make them
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they could fill it.
I feel like they should have done that. Something. But anyways, superpower. What's it going to be?
There's just so many to think of. I can think of scenarios where. So I'm trying to narrow it down. What would be the one that stands out above all the rest?
Mine.
I think telepathy.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, telepathy. I think is the most useful.
You want to hear what other people were thinking? You creepy son of a bitch.
Well, it's more of want to be able to control their thoughts.
Okay.
Like an Xavier kind of thing.
Okay.
But he can only really control other mutants, so...
No, he can control everyone.
Could he control humans as well?
He can control everyone.
Okay.
Remember in First Class when he stopped time, quote unquote stopped time, and everyone in the facility froze?
Mm-hmm.
They were all normal people. My power would be Magneto. I would have the control of metal. That's what I would do. That would be mine.
It's not a bad choice.
And we are going to pose this question to... Wait a second. Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
He's going to be in Days of Future Past?
Yeah, I've heard about that. I don't remember who they said he was going to be, though.
Who the
it's
fuck
like a doctor or scientist.
Who the fuck is Peter Dinklage playing? The fuck? Oh, I see him right here. Bryan Singer?
Bryan Singer is the director.
Oh. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, he announced the unnamed villain role. Okay.
Oh.
But I remember there was some supposition about it that they were saying that he might end up being.
I bet he's
there was
gonna
a
be
scientist character that they said he wasn't necessarily short.
I bet he's going to be that villain, that little blob thing that floats around in the can.
I definitely just typed in the wrong thing.
You know the blob thing?
Bolivar Trask.
Who's Bolivar Trask?
No idea. I had never heard the name before. Fictional character appearing in Marvel Comics. He's a military scientist who's well known as the creator of the Sentinels. That's where it comes from. That's where I was.
Nice. So Peter Dinklage is going to be the one.
I knew I had seen something. I just couldn't remember exactly what it was.
Oh, what about Mr. Sinister? That'd be awesome.
I mean, there's just so many. I mean,
oh yeah. I mean,
there's so many to do.
Myriad of.
They need to bring back Gambit because they've only done him in one show, and he is one of my favorite X-Men.
Yeah, you like Gambit?
I always liked Gambit. Yeah. He was just a good character. Very cocky son of a bitch.
I like Gambit, but that's just because I can throw cards.
Yeah.
So that's.
Yeah, but can you charge them and then throw them?
I can throw normal playing cards and cut people. So that's good enough for me. I can really whip those fucking things.
Yeah.
When my brother would whip me with a towel, I would go grab my cards and chuck them at his face.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to wrap this bitch up?
Yeah, we can wrap this up.
All right.
Unless you have something else to say.
I want to pose this question to our viewers, the 4 or 5 of you that are actually listening. Tweet us or email us or post on the YouTube or comments or whatever. What superpower would you have if you could have a superpower, or which superhero would you be? Because some of them obviously have more than one power, like Wolverine.
Yeah. And also give us a little brief description of why you would pick it.
Yeah, give us a brief description of why. Can't talk or nothing today. Jeez, I'm falling apart, Sean. I need to stop doing so much cocaine.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
And as always, I like to end the podcast with a quote that kind of ties into our topic, and obviously comic books have a lot to do with good versus evil, and so I think this actually kind of plays in very well. It's from Edmund Burke. It's actually attributed to John F. Kennedy, but Edmund Burke was the first to use it. The only thing necessary for triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And I think that that's the underlying message. I think a lot of times in the superheroes is it's more important to actually try to do something, and I think that's why a lot of people look at superheroes for not necessarily guidance, but as something as a beacon of hope almost. You hear that a lot, but really looking forward to the new Superman movie in a week, and can't wait. It's gonna be good. And hopefully we get some other
best.
Superheroes in the future as well we can talk about.
sex you will ever have.
All right. Well, that's
That's going to do it for today, everybody. Have a good afternoon.
Oh, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at RAT Discourse POD. Email us at rationaldiscourse@gmail.com. Go to our website, rationaldiscoursepodcast.com. I'm sure by time most people listen to this, that'll be up.
Yeah, it should be up. And also Facebook, Rational. You can also find us at Facebook at Rational Discourse as well.
Subscribe to us on YouTube and through iTunes. And we also have a Kickstarter account that we're pushing up, Rational Discourse Podcast. Hopefully that'll be up next week sometime. Mm-hmm. You donate $1, $5 if you want to. Be super generous. It doesn't cost much money to actually do this, but it does cost quite a bit of money to actually upload it.
Yeah, and upload it and everything. Well, also for the websites and for iTunes and everything.
Yeah, the megabytes. All right, folks.
All right. Have a good one. This is Sean.
This is Daniel.
And we're out.